Greetings, I'm Dev the developer.
And I'm Glitch, ready to give these words some personality. Right now, this page has the visual charisma of a dry erase board in a windowless room. We need some style.
Today we're diving into font basics. We'll learn how to choose the right typeface using font family and how to manage fallbacks with font stacks. Also, we're going to figure out how to control size, weight, and style to give your text a unique voice. Think of fonts as the tone of voice for your website. A sleek tech startup shouldn't sound like a dusty legal contract, and a high-end fashion blog shouldn't look like it was typed on a 1940s typewriter.
Exactly, I've been experimenting with a font that's so authoritative it actually makes users want to surrender their administrative privileges. It has very clean lines. I mean, for a task management app, very professional.
Be more obvious, Glitch. Let's start by getting some content on the page so we can see what the browser does by default.
It's the font equivalent of a generic waiting room. It says, I am here and I am a document. We can do better. We need the font family property.
That default font is usually a serif font. The term serif refers to tiny decorative lines or feet at the ends of characters. They're great for long-form printed text, but on a screen they can feel a bit cluttered. The font family property lets us specify which typeface we want. But we don't just list one font. We list a series of them called a font stack.
Wait, a stack like a backup plan. If the first font isn't on the user's device, the browser just moves down the list until it finds one it has.
Precisely. And we always end with a generic family like sans-serif or serif as a final safety net. Let's set a modern look for our body.
Oh, that looks so much cleaner. It's like the page just put on a pair of designer sneakers. Sans-serif fonts don't have those little decorative feet at the ends of the letters, right?
Exactly. Sans means without. So sans-serif fonts are clean and modern. Serif fonts, like the default, feel more traditional and academic. By putting this on the body, we're relying on one of the most powerful concepts in CSS.
Wait, I only set that on the body tag, but the H1 and the paragraphs all changed. Did they just copy the parent?
That's inheritance. Most font properties flow down from the parent elements to all its children. It's an efficient way to set a base style for your entire page without repeating yourself.
I love inheritance. Centralized control is so much easier to manage. Issue one directive at the root and the entire infrastructure falls into line.
Now, let's talk about size. We could use pixels, but modern best practices suggest using relative units like rem. Rem stands for root EM, and it's relative to the font size of the HTML tag.
So if we change the root size, everything else scales with it. That's perfect for accessibility. Users can crank up their base font size and our layout won't just break.
Exactly. It respects the user's preference while keeping our proportions intact. Let's set some responsive sizes for our heading and paragraphs.
2.5 rem for the heading. It's big, it's bold, it commands attention. It's the I am the captain now of font sizes.
If we want to add more emphasis, we can use font style and font weight. Font style is usually for italics, and font weight controls how thick the letters are.
I've always felt that bold text has a certain gravity, like it's physically heavier on the hard drive. Let's make that second paragraph really stand out. Oh, that's heavy, italic, and bold. It's like the text is leaning into the point it's trying to make.
You can also use numeric values for font weight, like 400 for normal and 700 for bold. This gives you more control if a font family provides multiple weights like light, medium, or black. Writing all these individual properties can get tedious. CSS offers a shorthand property called font that bundles them together.
Is there a compressed version? I'm all about optimizing bandwidth. Can we just smash them all into one line?
We can, but the order is very strict. You start with the optional style and weight, but the size and family must come last in that specific order.
Strict order, that's my favorite kind of order. If the size and family aren't at the end, the browser just ignores the whole directive.
Exactly. Size and family are mandatory. Let's rewrite our body style using the shorthand.
1rem/1.5. The slash separates the font size from the line height. It's so efficient. It almost looks like a line of assembly code. I'm in love.
Typography is the foundation of great design. By mastering these basics, you're not just choosing letters, you're choosing how your message is heard.
And remember, if you choose a font that's too friendly, people might not take your plans for world dominate. I mean, your contact us page. Seriously, choose wisely.
Experiment with different stacks and sizes to find the voice that fits your project. Don't just watch it, do it.